Jai Nandalala, Madhyoli Charanam. First, let me apologize. Last satsang recording has not been done due to some technical glitch, but today's recording will be done hopefully. Thank you so much for this inconvenience. Now we will start with our prayer. Om Sarvavignaharam Devam Sarvavignavivarjitam सर्वसिद्धिप्रदातारं वन्देऽहं गणनायकम् ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः ॐ मदियोळि चरणम्
அலையின் ஒலியாம் மதிவொலி, உண்மையின் வெளிச்சம் மதிவொலி, மயக்கத்தை மாய்க்கும் மதிவொலி, அன்பின் உருவம் மதிவொலி, ஒற்றுமையில் ஓங்கும் மதிவொலி. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம். நாவிர் சரஸ்வதி நற்றிணையாக. The satsang is 66 satsang, a unique number, 66, totaling into 3. Everything connected with Guru and Dashara. This Dashara is a little unique. Instead of 9 days, we got 10 days, out of which first 4 days are allocated to Durga. Quite a few times it will be 3-3-4 or 3-4-3 or 2-4-3. This time it is 4-3 and 3. 4 days of Durga, 3 days of Lakshmi, and 3 days of Saraswati, followed by Vijayadashmi. It's so apt that we got a lyric of Sri Akka on Durga. It can be played. Sri Kantesh, can you read out the meaning before we play that lyric? Sri Kantesh, you are there?
He's there.
I'm here. I think there was an audio problem.
Yeah, you can read out the meaning of that Goddess Durga poem.
Okay. Madhyoli Charanam, Jai Nandalala. Approximate translation of Sri Akka's poem on Goddess Durga. Penance is performed over 9 nights, dear mother. Appeared you as Durga, gathering all that is fierce, dear mother. Disappeared to me the form that is dreadful, dear mother. What appears to me is just your love and compassion, dear mother. What fills me is your blessing and grace, my dear mother. You stand tall, trampling the demon Mahisha under your feet. You relieve the devas from distress with delight. Clear, tender, and sweet is the fragrance flowing from your heart. Endow me with virtue and courage, dear mother, Durga. Adorned with the garland of lemon that is yellow, draped in auspicious vermilion that is crimson with glow, you appear to those who hold you in their hearts. Ensure that I don't breach dharma, dear mother Durga. You are the manifestation of valor, dear mother Durga. We feel you in our emotions, savoring victory, dear mother Durga. We soak in your compassion, dear mother Durga. You glow in our growth, dear mother Durga.
Kalani, can you play this song? It's sung by Nandaji Dodi in Durga Ragam itself.
9 இரவுகளில் தவமியற்ற தாயே உக்கிரமும் பெருக துர்க்கையானாயங்குன் அன்புதான் எம் கண்ணில் தெரிகிறது வாழ்த்தும் மருட்கருணை மற்றும் நிறைகிறது 9 இரவுகளில் தவமியற்ற தாயே உக்கிரமும் பெருக துர்க்கையானாயங்குன் அன்புதான் எம் கண்ணில் தெரிகிறது வாழ்த்தும் அருட்கருணை மற்றும் நிறைகிறது கால்களில் மகிஷனை மிதித்து நின்றாய் தேவர் கலக்கமும் நீங்கிட மகிழ்ச்சி கொண்டாய் கால்களில் மகிஷனை மிதித்து நின்றாய் தேவர் கலக்கமும் நீங்கிட மகிழ்ச்சி கொண்டாய் பால் தெளிந்தது போல் உன் பாகு மனம் நல்ல பண்பும் துணிவருள்வாய் துர்க்கையம்மா பால் தெளிந்தது போல் உன் பாகு மனம் நல்ல பண்பும் துணிவருள்வாய் துர்க்கையம்மா மஞ்சள் எலுமிச்சை மலையணிந்தாய் சிவப்பு மங்கள குங்குமத்தின் ஆடை புனைந்தாய் மஞ்சள் எலுமிச்சை மலையணிந்தாய் சிவப்பு மங்கள குங்குமத்தின் ஆடை புனைந்தாய் நெஞ்சினில் நினைப்போர் முன் நீ நடந்தாய் முறை நெறி தவறாமல் வை துர்க்கையம்மா நெஞ்சினில் நினைப்போர் முன் நீ நடந்தாய் முறை நெறி தவறாமல் வை துர்க்கையம்மா வீரத்தின் பொருளாக விளைந்தவளே எங்கள் வெற்றியின் உணர்வாக தெளிந்தவளே வீரத்தின் பொருளாக விளைந்தவளே எங்கள் வெற்றியின் உணர்வாக தெளிந்தவளே ஈரத்தின் சுவையாக இதயமெல்லாம் பொங்கும் ஏற்றத்தின் சுடரான துர்க்கையம்மா ஈரத்தின் சுவையாக இதயமெல்லாம் பொங்கும் ஏற்றத்தின் சுடரான துர்க்கையம்மா ஏற்றத்தின் சுடரான துர்க்கையம்மா ஏற்றத்தின் சுடரான துர்க்கையம்மா
Thanks for that lovely rendering, Nandaji Jyoti. So we are all normally afraid of the form of Durga. There's no need for us to be afraid of us. Akka, what says is that you have taken that face form to annihilate the demons, the evil forces. But what appears to me is your peaceful face, smiling face, and the compassion you showed to me by protecting me from the evil. What I seek from you is virtues, courage and valor. I should be able to speak the truth whenever it is needed to be spoken. But I will reveal the truth with all humility so that I don't hurt anybody. My intention is that it gets rooted in the other person who listens to that kind of a virtuous advice. You are the meaning of the word valor. You embellish in the success that we achieve in our efforts. Those success do not belong to us. It is you who became the light of the success. You may be fierce, but you are soft. You always have witness in your heart that soaks me all the time. Now we'll move into yet another song. It is not written by Akka, it is written by some Swamigal called Nochi Swamigal on the adoring the shrine Thiruvanmiyur, which hosts Lord Marandishwarar. Marandu in Tamil means Aushad in Sanskrit or medicine, whatever you call. And what is this medicine for? That medicine heals my body, the mind, my intellect. And it also heals me out of the pangs of birth. What this poet uses in this word is that who relieves the diseases of the mind and the body? That is the intellect, Madhivali, that is residing within ourselves, who is none other than Marandishwarar himself. It's a beautiful lyric. We'll listen to that and then we move on to the topic of the day.
Meaning first or the song
Read the
first?
meaning first, then we listen to the
Meaning.
video.
Okay, fine, sure. Jai Nandalala. Approximate meaning of the verse on Lord Marandishwarar. My Lord of the Vedas, who dwell in Thiruvanmiyur, you provide the medicines to cure diseases to this body. You are also the veil, the Maya, that identifies me with this body. I should shun another birth, the fear of death and senility. Please bless me with Mathioli to realize the truth. You are the pristine Veda, the cure. You also chant the Veda and the code of Dharma, the cure. You are free from Maya, the light that cures illusion. You embellish in Mathioli, the ultimate cure. That grants me freedom from birth, the cure. You're the cure that physicians cannot discover. You are my refuge, the one who resides in Thiruvanmiyur. Let me not need any physician for this body. Let Mathioli be the light that cures me from the diseases to this body and the illusion that makes me identify myself with this body. Mathioli.
Thank you, Vishnu. This lyric was handed to me by Mr. Ravindran some time back. Thanks to him, he particularly brought to my notice the words Madhivali in this particular two verses, which represents our Akka and being the incarnation of Marandishwarar himself in this form. And I had landed on this particular lyric only 10 days back before I start writing the notes. And I found that this particular lyric has a lot of relevance to the topic we are going to discuss today, including the Mahavakyas. Let us listen to this song.
மருந்தும் மாயமும் சேர்ந்து மறுபிறப்பு சாராமல் மரணமுடன் பிறப்போடு மூப்புமே வாராமல் மருந்தும் மாயமும் சேர்ந்து மறுபிறப்பு சாராமல் மரணமுடன் பிறப்போடு மூப்புமே வாராமல் மாசற்ற மதியிலொளிர் திருமுன்மை காட்டுமோரு திருவான்மியூரிலொளிர் மறை மருந்தே மாசற்ற மதியிலொளிர் திருவுண்மை காட்டுமோரு திருவான்மியூரிலொளிர் மறை மருந்தே அருளுகவே மாசற்ற மறை மருந்தே மறையோதும் மாமருந்தே மதியிலொளிர்தூ மருந்தே மாசற்ற மறை மருந்தே மறையோதும் மாமருந்தே மாயமிலா ஒளி மருந்தே மதியிலொளிர்தூ மருந்தே காயமில்லாகதிகருளும் திருவானிக தோங்கும் ஒரு மருத்துவர்கள் காணவோனா பூ மருந்தே காயமில்லாகதிகருளும் திருவானிக தோங்கும் ஒரு மருத்துவர்கள் காணவோனா பூ மருந்தே கதி எனக்கே.
Thanks, Janani, Nandaji Janani, for rendering this in Bauli Raga. We'll move to the topic of the day, which is Velvi in Tamil, Yagna in Sanskrit, also the same meaning in this one. It's got a larger meaning. It's also penance. It's also prayer. It's also worship. It's also one which conveys the concept of Mahavakyas through this very simple article of Sri Akka, but it has got a lot for us to learn from it. Kritika, you are there to read it out?
Yes. Can I start?
Yeah, please.
Jai NANDALALA, MATHIOLI Charanam. Translation of Sri Akka's Tamil article, Velvi, Yagna or Penance, from the title Nindru, Nilai, Peruga. Rise, stay rooted, and reach the pinnacle. Yagna is what is offered to the celestial devas. Who are these devas? According to the Vedas, devas are the ones who provide us the inner light and thus energy. Devas in plural form represent various energies that emanate from the Almighty's divine force. It may be a latent spirit or the one associated with the patent outside expression. Vision, the sense organ of sight, is a faculty of an individual. But there is a deity, the force behind this faculty. This Shakti is present in every living being. We call this as Aditya. We identify this faculty with him. He is the eyes of this world. Similarly, the organ hand represents the energy or power of an individual. But there is a divine force that makes all the hands function. The divinity behind this energy is called as Indra. We are aware that while performing yajnas, Avirbhagam, the sacrificial offering, is offered to various devas. What does Avirbhagam exactly mean? I am dedicating all my senses, faculties, energies to, though trivial, to the mightiest energy is the underlying import of Avirbhagam. I am unifying the individual feeling of I with those of every being. I dissolve my feeling of I into we and me into us. I consider every one of my kith and kin and everyone in the society as me. I second my decisions to the resolution and will of God.
Please stop here. Any thoughts on these 5-6 paragraphs? Any particular thing you were able to infer from this?
Uncle, can I?
Yeah, please.
I think one word that comes to mind is merging. It's a way to merge, probably. It's a tool that we can use to merge. So, usually, when we are a part of a bigger thing, there is a lot of security, a sense of security. That is the whole purpose, that you feel one. And when you're in a secure place, your mind and body works well.
Yes. Any other thought?
I was just thinking that this was Akka's way of teaching us that there is an aspect to going inwards, and then there is an aspect to going outwards and connecting with other energies around you. When that's a different form of prayer. There is one form of prayer where you go inwards, but this explicitly explains, at least for me, these things are so beautiful to know what the offering means, to be detailed in the explanation of the offering of how the entire every participant is is very much involved in a yajna.
Okay, just to elaborate, quite nice to share these aspects, both of you. There is always a doubt, because we are talking about a philosophy which is born in this country, which talks of one God who is formless, which also has got crores of gods. We cannot count them. These are called celestial bodies. And in our concept, there are multiple energies in the creation. As human beings, we are a unique creation. We are the one who have got all the 6 faculties. And we have got all the organs which other species may not have at all. Now, in our philosophy, it is not just eyes, it is not just hands, it is not just any limb, it is not just heart, it is not just stomach, it is not just the digesting power, it is not just the invisible things in our body, which is mind and intellect. Each one is unique, each one is identified with a specific component of God, Indra, Aditya, several things. And if you perceive that Almighty as Vishnu or Shiva, can see in those texts what is the organ that is born out of the eyes of Lord Vishnu? What is the organ that is born of the eyes of Indra? What are the organs that are born out of Ashwini Devas? So the whole thing is that our whole body is comprised of tangible, intangible things which are divine energies. These divine energies are not able to manifest because of something called mind, intellect, and the ego associated with the intellect and the mind as well. What we offer in the yajna, not dravyas, I offer in the yajna every single energy which has been given to by the various demigods who are the parts of the same God. Therefore, I dedicate all these things to the Lord. I don't dedicate it as an individual person. I dedicate it as a community. Therefore, there is just oneness. What I sacrifice is my individual identity. What I recognize is I am part of the universal identity. Then goes to self-realization. So yajna is not a simple thing as creating a fire and offering things. It is beyond that. That's what Akka says. Because every time when we perform a homam during Akka's lifetime or after that, whatever we do, this particular chapter on Nindru is the one thing that stands out. And we try to ensure that everybody takes participation, everybody surrenders their ego, everybody treats everybody who comes to the home as their own being. And ultimately, as we complete the home Purnagati, we can see the oneness that is with everybody, nothing else is thought of. So this is basically, I thought I want to convey as a yajna, which is done tangibly, physically, which can also be done mentally. That's what Akka carries on going forward. You can, if there's anything on this, we can spend some time, or we can go to the next paragraph. You can probably proceed, Kritika.
Okay. Now, let us understand what is meant by oblation to Lord Aditya. Let us make a strong resolution. My faculty of sight should not become a slave of undesirable objects. I shall develop the habit of exhibiting love, smile, and good wishes to those whom I move with. I shall see only the eyes of God in everyone, irrespective of the way the other person looks at me. This resolution should be our oblation to Lord Aditya. Likewise, let us understand the spirit of oblation to Lord Indra. The purpose is to extend a helping hand to all other hands. Exercise, hard work, training, etc. strengthen the hands, arms, and shoulders and the muscles thereof. In the same way, creating employment opportunities for the downtrodden is the real offering to Lord Indra. When everyone gets a vocation to pursue, there will be no room for deprivation of food and livelihood. Poverty will be kept at bay. Let us dedicate our hands to serve the society, and Lord Indra will be more than pleased with this sacrifice.
Let me stop here. This is an important paragraph, which is very much material in that sense. It's very much part of the physical world. Any views we can share on this paragraph before we go to the other one?
I'm reminded of, I think it was a Japanese proverb or Chinese proverb, I do not know, but yeah, it was that give a man fish for the day, you fed for the day. You teach him how to fish, you fed him for a lifetime. So to provide for, when they can have a means of survival is a bigger service than a short-term, any kind of contribution.
Absolutely right. That's one of the imports from this. Any other?
Uncle, Yagna is more of a symbolic reinforcement of certain thoughts, like what is our dharma, serving the society. It's a symbolic, it's more symbolic, whereas when you actually do the seva, it's a physical act. So, in the symbolism, you remind yourself what are your duties, and during seva, you actually execute it.
Yes, yeah. Your voice is little getting, I think, distracted some here and there. I could understand. Yeah,
Okay, am I audible now, Uncle?
yeah, please.
Okay. So, what I feel is Yagna is more of symbolism to reinforce certain good traits like service and other things. And when we actually do seva, it's the execution of these noble thoughts.
Yes, thank you. Anything else? Akka here says that, it's very important in the current day. We should recall what happened during COVID time, especially in India. In most part of the world, they were cutting jobs. But in India, most of the organizations somehow tried to give solace to the people. Whether there was work or not, there was a lockdown, they were able to pay something to their employees. Some companies paid even their employees of their vendors, depending upon whatever financial resources we had. It is easy to say to an employee that I don't need you for next 1 month because I don't have any work to offer to you, or I'm going to be away for some time, or I have shut down the plant for some maintenance, whatever it is. Where will he go? This is very important for people who are affluent and companies which are affluent to ensure that profit comes second. Humanity comes first. There are companies who cut jobs during this period because they wanted to ensure that their quarterly profits are not affected or losses are not there. Some people did something out of their own wish. Some people did something because of the force of law. It is our ability to think beyond ourselves, look at everybody else, and see how we can share what we have during times of distress. So, this is very, very important communication. What's happening today? Even Indian companies, because they are listed, because they got investors from outside India, FIAs, who talk about, they want to cut jobs. I do agree that you should be in a position to give return to people who have invested in your company. But that cannot come out of shortchanging somebody else in your organization. It's very important. I leave it at that because this is the message which Akka always wanted to convey. I remember that when he joined larger organizations and got better positions, one advice of me to Akka was that think twice before taking somebody out of employment. Be careful when you create employment also. And have a system whereby your organization doesn't get into conflict with the workmen. If they are misguided by some outside force, you should be able to handle it more effectively. Our profits come after every other person is properly taken care of. You may think that people are invested in your company at whatever premium when you floated a public issue. But the people who invested, they know they are investing in equity, which is risk. Therefore, they are aware that they are taking a risk. At the same time, the greed of them is that they can get maximum profit by investing in an equity share. Dividend may not be there, market will appreciate. Markets may appreciate, depreciate depending on 100 other factors. You have one organization or two organizations to run. Your investors have 100 companies to invest, get in and get out. So have a proper vision for your organization. Deliver it perfectly to the benefit of all. Why I'm putting is that there are many people in our own NANDALALA Samiti who will sometime reach great positions. And I was able to use this advice very effectively whenever I dealt with my promoters or the investors. And they were also influenced. It is very, very important. This particular article, which I've been reading from 1995, has been my soul to deal with everything in this world. Forget about self-realization, forget about all these Mahabhakyas. I cannot reach that stage until I do justice to my birth, where all my organs are attached to God. I forget it. If all my organs are attached to a particular God, I should be able to use those organs in a godly way than as a selfish person. And this is exactly the communication Akka wants to, because Akka cannot give elaborate things, but she gives the pointers and make you think. Since this particular article I went with Akka in person, I know the impact of it, how it impacted me. Thank you. We can carry on with the rest of the.
Can I add one more comment to this, Uncle?
Please.
For those of us who are not businessmen running businesses, and able to carry out what you're saying. I think one thing that can easily be applied in our daily life is we have our house help, we have people coming and doing small work for us. We go to the store and the street vendor is coming to our house. We bargain with them. We need to be very mindful about what is their livelihood like, what they depend on, those small amount of incomes that they make. And if we can afford it, we should not be shortchanging them as well. We should be compassionate to them, and if we are going through some difficulties, sometimes we also think, oh, I need to cut my expenses. It's the same concept that you explained that could be applied at that time as well.
I have taken the COVID situation. People like me, in my organization also, we had been provided perquisites, and then people who cannot self-drive, they had drivers. But most of it ensured that though the office was closed for 18 months, and then quite a few of us got no work, but still we ensured that drivers were paid, whether they were able to come to work or not. I think that is the spirit with which Akka was able to influence me and my organization. Same thing applies to anybody who has been moved with Akka and moved by this article. I think this basically, we cannot talk about what we do, but at the same time, what can be done is very, very important. If you have the resources, we need not be stingy. If we don't have, it's a different issue. We cannot borrow and help people. Very impossible.
Mama, I would like to add about our school. I think in those days I spoke to you and you said it would be good if we can pay everyone. That loyalty factor will help us out later. Regardless of the loyalty factor, it would be good if we pay. And every month I would think, how are we going to pay? Because there's no income, absolutely zero. But somehow or the other, she would ensure that there is someone who would give me a call and we would pay the salary. So that's how it went on for the whole of COVID period.
If you have the right thoughts and right vision, God will always be there to help you directly or indirectly. This most of us will have experience. It is not unique to any one of you or me. But everybody, if you're entertained, able to thought that I want to be of help to somebody, I want to do something beyond my own selfish nature, God will provide you avenues to contribute, and He will also give the resources to contribute. Because if there is a well, unless you keep drawing water, the water will not spring at all. If you stop drawing water, the spring will also die. You keep drawing, spring will be alive all the time. You can carry on.
Okay. Dedicating my hands to help my countrymen, dedicating my eyes to the awakening of my society, dedicating my mind and heart to the mind and heart of all, dedicating my desire to the desire of my country, and dedicating my thought to oneness, that is, I am one with all, denote true Yagna and the Vedic declaration, Tattvamasi, you are that. This is the Yagna that makes disappearance of I, the shackle, thus enabling freedom. This is the freedom that Vedanta declares as Yagna and the revelation that I merge with Him and I am in fact that, Him. Do take my life, let it be the oblation to you, abundant grace. Do take my heart, abundant grace, and let it melt and dissolve in you. Do take my eyes, abundant grace, let them be energized in your vision. Do take my hands, abundant grace, let them sweat for the truth that is you, great grace. The expression abundant grace connotes me and the society to which I belong. I urge you all to perform this yajna. This yajna should be the sole religion that encompasses this earth.
You want to stop
It is
here?
said.
Yes, just stop here. I think Nanda Venkataraman, on some other context, wanted to understand the Mahavakyas. I told him that this particular satsang covers that part of that Velvi. So we have got another small write-up on the Mahavakyas, and it relates to this particular topic. We will discuss it after this chapter. But only one thing here we have to note is that when Akka says it's abundant grace, she's not talking about some God who is sitting outside and watching us. She says the collective society is the abundant grace. The God lives in this collective society, of which I am also one part. That's where the whole thing is, that I'm not different from somebody else. Somebody is not different from somebody. All are part of the same. And once I realize this, I become that great grace myself. We can discuss this as we discuss that 4 Mahavakyas. We'll go into the other paragraphs here.
But before that, can I please request you to read the Tamil version of this little portion? Because I thought those words might be
Yeah, I'll do. Sure. என் உயிரை எடுத்துக்கொள் பேரருளே, அது உனக்கே அர்ப்பணமாகட்டும். என் இதயத்தை எடுத்துக்கொள் பேரருளே, அது அன்பில் கரைந்து நிறைந்து உன்னோடு ஒன்றட்டும். என் விழிகளை எடுத்துக்கொள் பேரருளே, அது உன் தோற்றத்திலேயே ஊக்கப்படுத்தப்படட்டும். என் கைகளை எடுத்துக்கொள் பேரருளே, அது உண்மைக்காக உனக்காகவே வியர்வை சிந்தட்டும். இங்கு பேரருள் என்று குறிப்பிட்டது என்னுடன் சேர்ந்த என் மக்களையே குறிக்கும். இந்த வேள்வியை எல்லோரும் செய்ய வேண்டும். இதுதான் உலகளாவிய மதமாக இருக்க வேண்டும். சர்வே ஜனா சுகினோ பவந்து. That's a Tamil portion of it.
Thank you. I thought the other portion is separate from this, is it? The dedicating my hands to help my countrymen. That is a separate portion.
That is what I read out.
This is the second paragraph, no?
Yeah, one second. That we have to see is that என்னுடைய கரங்களை இந்த நாட்டின் பலது கரங்களுக்காக அர்ப்பணிப்பதும், எனது விழிகளை மொத்த சமுதாயத்தின் விழிகளுக்காக அர்ப்பணிப்பதும், எனது மனத்தை எல்லா மனங்களுக்காக அர்ப்பணிப்பதும், எனது வேட்டிகளை அர்ப்பணிப்பதும், எல்லோரும் என்னோடு இணைந்து விட்டதாக எண்ணுவதுதான் வேள்வி. Then follows Tattvamasi.
Okay, thank you. Shall I resume? It is said that God does appear at the conclusion of a yagna. This is absolutely true. This appearance is the result of the united dedication of all. It is the result of the powerful energy emanating from the unified aspiration and the emotion of all. The power and energy of the team united by a great vision or a goal increases manifold. Science has established this truth. This is the power of satsang. The energy released by satsang is infinite. It is true that it is easy for the river to flow through the old waterways, but one may try to link this simile into the thought that old notions should be the only way for the current day of life. This is not acceptable. Life cannot be reinfused into the body that breathed its last. Can we put back the juice once again into the sugar cane from which the juice was extracted? The dead body and the baggage have to be buried or burnt. Objects and shapes keep changing. They cannot get back to their erstwhile form. Let us perform some yagna in the fire of knowledge. True yagna is that one which suits and relevant to the changing times. Let us take patriotism. It is not living in past glories. It is not about waxing in eloquence of past laurels. Snail carries its old shell even as it moves into new circumstances. Let us not waste our time in the memories of the past.
Please stop here. Any thoughts on this?
I think we should move forward and go with the change with the time rather than be stagnant.
That's very important, yeah. Akka brings it an amount of modernity in this. She cannot say that you cannot live in the past. While the truth is one, the way of understanding truth and executing in this world, the process goes through a change. The process we followed in Krita Yuga will not be relevant for Treta Yuga. What we followed in Treta Yuga will not be relevant in Dwapara Yuga. What we followed in Dwapara Yuga will not be relevant in Kali Yuga. What process we follow in the start of Kali Yuga will not be relevant for the remaining part of Kali Yuga. This is where she says that you should be able to tune yourself to changing circumstances, but without losing your ground on truth, Satya. That's what the waterman can change, but the four Vakyas cannot change. But everything else can, the processes can change. So there is a point in talking about in Chandragupta days, we did that, in Aryabhatta we did that. What you are doing today? That's very important. Any other thought? So what we can take from this is that many times you got comparisons with nature, with something else. But the comparisons are limited. Like the comparison, the river flows through old waterways. So whatever finds its own route, but it's okay, but doesn't apply to me. I cannot find my own route in the worldly processes. The route can be different. My ultimate aim is to self-realization. That's the concept which Akka wants to convey here. Because don't be limited by the examples. Try to go beyond examples and do something else. Can carry forward here. Our energy is unlimited.
Our energy is unlimited. Let us realize it. Let us breathe and desire for the ideal India that should be. History as well as experiences in our daily lives keep unfolding several truths. When people come together and when their eyes and hands integrate, there arises the rare opportunity for unification of their minds. At this juncture, whether consciously or unknowingly, ideas, feelings, and emotions are exchanged. These lead to arriving at a consensus on ideas and concepts. That is how unity is established and affirmed. Performance of this yajna will turn into gold the time otherwise wasted. It will recoup and compensate all that is lost. It will yield significant gains. This yajna will remove the word poverty from the lexicon. This yajna will engulf everyone's heart with complete satisfaction. We will reach the zenith and stay there.
The last two paragraphs, very important for anything. Because Dick talked about, unity of goal and vision. Once that is done, there are various processes. In these processes, are you going to discuss and confront each other? Are you going to discuss and arrive at a solution or arrive at a path to follow? Once that is done, there is total integration. Then we will never fail. That is true yajna. In fact, based on this particular topic and also the way we have been performing homams, sitting with Akka, I developed one simple process of yajna in day-to-day life, taking from the homa. And Akka said, please use this in your leadership talks in the office. Very important. This is coming in the next few sentences. Can you read that also? Cycle of yajna.
Yes. The cycle of yajna and celebration of success. Inspiration, aspiration, determination, preparation, perspiration, examination, reconciliation, realization. This is a cycle. Shall I read the last para too?
Yeah. Go ahead, because it's a full, it goes next page. Yeah.
Inspiration is provided by values and vision, thinking beyond self. Aspiration is provided by a higher goal, not a mere desire that gives just transient pleasure. Aspiration leads to a journey that bestows bliss. It flows from inspiration. Determination is produced by belief in self and team, and by shunning hesitation, belief in the goal, and the will to realizing the vision. Preparation means careful planning of all the details. Perspiration means hard work and focused execution and action as a team, devoid of procrastination. Examination means unbiased review and course correction. Reconciliation is acceptance of the outcome. Realization is how rather than who, finding solutions rather than exchanging blames. Understanding the root cause and revisiting the goal, preparation, and execution. This cycle is called true yajna, penance, and yoga of action that leads to celebration, that is true bliss and real enjoyment.
Actually, this particular article, no, if you've seen any homam, there is a purpose for which there is an inspiration to do that. Once it is inspiration, we need an aspiration. I want to do it. We are inspired, but then it becomes my objective to do that. Then you need determination that I will do it. That gives you confidence. Then comes preparation. If you take an yajna, we have all the sankalpam. First, I want to do. Then there is a sankalpam. Before that sankalpam, we prepare everything for the homam, whether it is bringing bricks or bringing ghee or whatever it is. That is the preparation following determination. Then, when you do homam, it is not easy. You perspire a lot to that. That is action. Then, when you do homam, you can see every point in time they observe the quality of fire, the height of fire, and the heat it generates. So there are rules that the fire should not go beyond certain height. There are rules that I cannot offer something into the homa unless the fire exists there. So there will be somebody will be adding this firewood, adding extra ghee, and wait for the flame to come, and then offer the next ahudi. You can see that they do it very, very systematically. They will ensure that the fire always exists in some form on there, but it is not over fire. If the fire becomes too much, they have milk mixed with water. They sprinkle it so the fire comes up because it cannot go over your head also. When they do this, second, they have to ensure that their eyes are open when they offer anything to the oven. Because when you close your eyes and go offer to the oven, the effects will be detrimental. Therefore, they will ensure that the smoke is less. Even if the smoke is there, they will ensure at the time they put something into the oven, their eyes are open. Then they may close the eyes, wipe it out with a towel or a tissue. That's called whole things examination, controlling things as they happen. Then everything is done, reconciliation, because the yajna is done, you got certain effects. Sometimes you may feel that homam could have been done better. Then go back and start your action once again. This applies to not only performing yajna, this applies to performing our duties, which are also yajna. Without sankalpam, nothing can be done. Sankalpam arises only if you have got certain amount of inspiration, aspiration, and a goal. Therefore, every one of us should have an ambition, a goal, which Akka has explained very well in our first chapter of Munneru, the last book she Akka wrote, the first chapter. It talks about how everybody should have a goal and how that goal should be. What that goal should be. It's a selfish goal or a universal goal or a goal to self-realize. I think everything comes into that whole thing that as human being, as all your energies are governed by God, all organs are got certain representative of God, you must realize that and have a superior goal as you live in this world, and a superior goal as you go out of this world. Anything you want to discuss on it, or shall we go into that meaning of the next song? Can you read the meaning of yeah, please. Yeah.
Uncle, this is Gopi. I think somebody else also wanted to say something. Maybe
Please,
I can.
please. Yeah, I couldn't see that here. Yeah, sure.
So, Uncle, when we were talking earlier about some of these nature examples and divine analogies, and we're talking about moving along with time, And I think you mentioned something that just got me thinking. And then when I was listening to this leadership thing, the reconciliation part of it, I think it kind of struck a chord for me. What it is that uh, I think most of our current generation, we are going back to the ancient scriptures and roots as a way to learn and get our first exposure of, oh wow, this was all said then, so, and this is timeless teachings. So some of these things we can easily say in the modern times it doesn't apply, and we have to move forward with the current times. But I think that reconciliation process that we're talking about here, of saying that, the process that you are underlying, we can always examine it to say that, how do I go beyond? I think the word you said used was go beyond. So I was just wanting to emphasize that it is not to go away from saying it is irrelevant, but it is to say how to go beyond and do even better. But I think the teachings of those analogies are timeless, and I think even 10 generations from now it will still be as applicable and relevant. So I was just thinking along those lines of, does anything lose its relevance because of the passage of time?
Hello, stopped somewhere.
No,
Hello?
uncle, that's it.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, I thought it got abrupt. See, you are absolutely right. See, if you look very simple things, for example, in those days, our sannyasis would not cross ocean. Is it possible today? They cannot travel by any mode other than walking. Is it possible today? Jayendra has to go across various rivers.
Mhm.
Akka has to fly across oceans to go to various
Ocean.
places established. So therefore, these are things which have to change with modernity. If we have to reach more people, but there are disciplines were formed. When they come back, they have this Panchagavayam and all those things. There are processes in the whole thing is that it has been thought out because some rules have to be bypassed. But having bypassed, you have got certain amount of compensation to do for that. That is all written in the scripture. So there is nothing that is left out in our scripture. But we don't read it in full. We don't read our Dharma Shastra in full. We try to have certain ideas here and there, and we try to believe more in rituals than the philosophy behind the rituals. That is where Akka says is that you should be able to change your little rituals to suit the modern times. But the ultimate truth remains the same. They are the Mahavakyas. But to reach that stage, I'll have to follow certain things. I may have to, the river has to follow in another direction. If you want water for everybody, I'll have to have dams and put canals to reach it everywhere. Even that was decided in those days. Therefore, it is not that a river flows and automatically leave it whatever you want to do, but I want to divert the river to various places for the benefit of everybody. So these are the processes which we have to understand.
Right, uncle. I think wanted to just add there the main thing with all these rituals, that was something exactly that came into my mind. So growing up, I think the most important thing that I have developed, and I think most of this generation has developed, is asking the question why. I think there is a point of time where a lot of things were just accepted without challenging or examining what is the real significance or the reason, and why did it happen in that time, what was the context of that. So I think understanding that, then we get to the fundamentals of the truth. And so all the examples you gave also, there was a reason, there was a limitation, and that kind of became the norm. There is the story of, for doing a Satyanarayana puja, a priest was told his son, catch the cat and put it inside the basket. And then when the son took over from the father and he started doing pujas, he would ask people to go search, and as part of his puja ingredients, he would say, go catch a cat and bring it for the puja, without understanding that The cat used to drink the milk kept for the Nevedyam in that time of the father, and that was why he was harnessing the cat. But he didn't understand that. He just thought it is a part of the rituals to have a cat sequestered during the puja. Those kind of things are happening. That is what we need to examine.
That's what Akka said, don't do anything blindly. But when you want to understand a ritual and that background or the logic behind it, you don't challenge it. With all humility, ask for the explanation. This is exactly the lesson we draw from Gita also. It was given to Arjuna because he did not challenge Krishna. Please help me to understand this. So Krishna went on helping him because the humility to understand the truth is more important than challenging everything. How many people heard Gita? Arjuna? Dhritarashtra didn't want to see, he wanted only to listen. Then Sanjaya. Then there is one person, I forgot his name, who gave his life as a sacrifice. Gadodgajan's son, I forgot his name. His head was cut and kept in the place of war to witness everything. Dhritarashtra did not believe in anything. For Sanjaya, is just translating or just informing what has happened as a communication device. For Hanuman, who was sitting on the flag of this one, it was reorientation for him. He was already living the principles of Gita. The person whose head was kept on the wall was also the person who was following karma in Tota. Of the balance three people, only Arjuna was able to understand it because he had the humility to learn something. So the modern day is that we challenge for the sake of challenge. We don't want to be convinced. We want to be confrontating. The attitude should be not one of confrontation, understanding logically. From that logic, remove the cat from that place of heaven. Don't know to it. This is exactly the purpose of inquiry, not an inquiry with an arrogance. To have an hypothesis of his own hypothesis to be proved this way or that way. This is exactly the way we should approach our Shastras or our Puranas is that understand the contradiction. There are contradictions. But the contradictions have got a certain relevance. Unless we read the entire Mahabharata, you won't understand the reason for contradictions. Because there is a cause and there is an effect. There cannot be any effect without any cause. So this exactly comes, then we understand what is the cause. If we go to the root of the cause, then everything will be realized. It requires a little bit of patience, a lot of submission, a lot of the open mind to understand and take the gold out of the rust. That's very, very important. Hope I was too long, but made some clarity.
Thank you, Uncle. No, this was a very useful part of the whole satsang for me. I was just kind of, and then you added more clarity to it. Thank you.
Can read the meaning of the poem, Kritika?
Approximate translation of Sri Akka's lyric, Seyalaki Partiduvom. Let us put into action. Dedicate all that is beautiful as divine feast to the eyes. Fruits that have become ripe never revert to be unripe. Let us not allow the maturity to coil back to immaturity. Let us appreciate the penance that attaches us to seeking the truth, that uproots all the desires rooted in untruth. Let us be rooted in the belief that the good seed sown now shall grow into a big tree, offering the shelter of truth. Slippery is the earth that is covered by moss. Slippery will be the life lived with attachment, alas. Protective will be the grace of the Lord to those filled with love for the God. Ceaseless effort and wholehearted work are the path to realize the truth. Will burn all the desires underneath. Limited will be the needs indeed. His hands always raised to give. Let us cherish as his grace the fruits of our efforts that we receive. Many are his teachings delivered with compassion. Let us put them into practice and action.
Thanks for nice reading. This is one of the lyrics we had only the manuscript. It was never published. And thanks to Nandaji Ravindran, shared with me some time back. We also used this while discussing Karma Yoga because it talks about duty and action. It's more relevant to the Yagna. Yagna also means action. We listen to this song and then go to Mahavakyas.
அழகெல்லாம் கண்ணுக்கு அருள் விருந்தாகவே, அழகெல்லாம் கண்ணுக்கு அருள் விருந்தாகவே அர்ப்பணிப்பென்றும் வேண்டும். அழகெல்லாம் கண்ணுக்கு அருள் விருந்தாகவே அர்ப்பணிப்பென்றும் வேண்டும். பழமெல்லாம் காயாக மாறாது போலே அங்கு பக்குவமொன்றிட வேண்டும். பழமெல்லாம் காயாக மாறாது போலே அங்கு பக்குவமொன்றிட வேண்டும். விட்டதை கேட்கும் விட்டதை கேட்கும் வேள்வியை போற்றவும் மெய்மையில் நாட்டம் வேண்டும். விட்டதை கேட்கும் வேள்வியை போற்றவும் மெய்மையில் நாட்டம் வேண்டும். நட்டரும் தான் பெறும் நன்மரமாய் வரும் நம்பிக்கை ஊட்ட வேண்டும். நட்டரும் தான் பெறும் நன்மரமாய் வரும் நம்பிக்கை ஊட்ட வேண்டும். பாசியை போலெங்கும் பாசமெல்லாமுமே பற்றி நில்லார் பறிக்கும். பாசியை போலெங்கும் பாசமெல்லாமுமே பற்றி நில்லார் பறிக்கும். நேசமாய் உள்ள நிழலுக்கு இறைவனடி நேசமாய் உள்ள நிழலுக்கு இறைவனடி நேசமாய் உள்ள நிழலுக்கு இறைவனடி நீங்காத காப்பிருக்கும். நீங்காத காப்பிருக்கும். ஊக்கமே நாளும் குறையா முயற்சியில் உண்மை புரிந்து விடும். உண்மை புரிந்து விடும். ஊக்கமே என்னாலும் குறையா முயற்சியில் உண்மை புரிந்து விடும். சீக்கிரம் சென்றும் அடைய முடிந்தால் தேவை குறைந்து விடும். தேவை குறைந்து விடும். கொடுப்பதற்கென்றும் அவன் கை உயர்ந்தது கொள்வதை சேர்த்து விடுவோம். கொடுப்பதற்கென்றும் அவன் கை உயர்ந்தது கொள்வதை சேர்த்து விடுவோம். படிப்பதற்கே பல பாடமிருந்தாலும் செயலாக்கி பார்த்திடுவோம். செயல் அருள் விருந்தாகவே அர்ப்பணிப்பென்றும் வேண்டும். பழமெல்லாம் காயாக மாறாது போலே அங்கு பக்குவமொன்றிட வேண்டும். அழகெல்லாம் கண்ணுக்கு அருள் விருந்தாகவே அர்ப்பணிப்பென்றும் வேண்டும்.
It's beautifully rendered by Maganyastri using Simendra Mandhyamam and Madhyamavati. One of the most important aspect of this particular communication is that பழமெல்லாம் காயாக மாறாது போலாங்கு பக்குவம் கொன்ற வேண்டும். That is, they never coil back. Because you can change. Can you go back to the past? A caterpillar can become a butterfly, but it cannot become a caterpillar. A raw mango becomes a ripe mango. Can it become raw? But human beings who are capable of getting back to coil, they coil back to where they were. They are like a spring. But you don't want to be a spring. You want to keep only moving forward. You need to do penance. So, விட்டதை கேட்கும் முன் வேள்வியை போற்றுவோம். This is exactly what the entire chapter was all about. And it talks about hard, there's nothing, no substitute for hard work. Hard work without any selfish motive will take you closer to the Almighty. The moment you detach yourself from the fruits of your action, He will give you more fruits than you think you deserve. His hands are always there to bless you and give the maximum to you. Focus on your effort. Having chosen a goal, don't try to detract. The goal should be superior. A goal that serves the society, a goal that will lead you to self-realization. This is exactly the import of the particular song. See, this particular article used one Mahavakya, Tattvamasi. In fact, Nandari Venkatraman, whether we can relate some of these things to the Mahavakyas. Thanks for that, because that made me go into the Mahavakyas and whether they mean several things or only one thing they mean. So, and there is a particular lyric of Akka, Parka, which exactly captures this particular philosophy. Amit, you are there? Amit?
Yes, uncle.
You read the Mahavakyas.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you read the Mahavakyas and then the meaning of that particular poem.
Okay. There are 4 Mahavakyas derived from the 4 Vedas. Shri Akka chose to use one of them, Tattvamasi, you are that, in this article. Prajnanam Brahman. This is the defining sentence. Brahman is the supreme knowledge. Knowing the absolute reality is the supreme knowledge. From Aitreya Upanishad of Rig Veda. Second, I am Atma Brahma. This is Anusandhana Vakya, the sentence that keeps us connected to the larger reality. Atman and Brahman are the same. The individual self is one and the same with the absolute. From Mandukya Upanishad of Atharva Veda. Third, Tattvamasi. This is Upadesha Vakya, sentence taught by the Guru to the disciple. That is what you are. You are that. That absolute reality is the essence of what you really are. From Chandogya Upanishad of Samaveda. Fourth, Aham Brahmasmi. This is Anubhava Vakya, experiences sentence. I am Brahman. Who I really am is that absolute reality. From Brihadaranyaka Upanishad of Yajurveda. All the four Mahavakyas connote one thing. Every living being is the creation of the Almighty. That the true nature of the self is identical to the supreme reality. Differences arise because of the mind and ego and identification with the body. If one can see him in everything, unity is born, and that leads to self-realization. Sacrificing mind and ego is the real yagna. The yagna is performed by performing all actions for the benefit of all and engaging in all actions as his instrument. Shri Akka has covered all these Mahavakyas in her article Nindan Avan, You Are That, and how they mean the same thing. This article is the first chapter of the title Katril Varum Sedi, message from the space spread by the breeze.
Let's stop here before we go into the lyric. Anything, any Nandaji, relate this with the article which we have just completed now?
Actually, Mama, there has been a doubt that's been brewing in my head ever since the poem. From there, it connected to this, and now it's all the more. The line which said that don't coil back into immaturity, that made me want to go and think of the paragraph in the article where she says that you, with your eyes, you see the God in the other, whomever you are seeing. And then I was trying to look at it in real life situation. And it's not necessary that, okay, now we've had a satsang, you read good books, you read good texts, and you keep thinking that you're trying to better yourself. But then you come into, let us say, with your team at work or anywhere, in your social circle or whatever. Let us say, for example, there is somebody who is bringing a sort of a negative energy to the table. How can I see God in that?
Every energy is God's creation. Some energies come from Sattva Gunas, some energies come from other Gunas. And everybody has made an attempt to go to Sattva Guna. You asked this question. The answer for that is in that article I referred to. Katril Varum Seidi, that article, Nidan Avan, Tattvamasi. So I can read one line from that. I'll just read this. I'll try to translate in English also. மாயையோ ஓடு கூடிய மெய்ப்பொருள் இறைவன். இந்த மனம் உடல் இவற்றில் கலந்து நிற்கும் மெய்ப்பொருள் தான் மனிதனின் உள்ள உயிர். இறைவன் சுத்த சத்வகுணத்தோடு கூடியவன். தேவையற்ற குணங்களை எடுத்திருந்த பின்பு தேவநிலையான மெய்ப்பொருள் வடிவாகவே அவனது உயிர் தெளிவாகி விடுகிறது. நான் தான் நீ என்று மனிதன் இறைமை நிலையை உணரும் பொழுது அறியாமை என்ற நீர்க்குமைகள் உடைந்து அகன்று போகின்றன. Just try to give you this one. We understand we have got a body. We understand there is a mind in that. We understand there is life in that. And we have been led to believe by the various shastras that these are all not real. Their body, mind, intellect are not real. Whereas this unreal as well as the real is part of the same Almighty. When the unreal is taken away, real appears. That real is the life within you. The life is nothing but Atma. It is as pristine as the Creator. Atma and the Creator are not different. It's pure Advaita. Then how do we reach that kind of stage? God, though he is called Nirguna, he transcends all the gunas. Actually, is more, I would say, twined inseparably with Sattva Guna. When you are able to remove the unwanted gunas, rajas and tamas, you become sattvic. When you become sattvic, you are no different from the manifestation of the Almighty. Then you believe that you are Him. While Akka has taken all the four Mahavakyas, she gave the title to this particular article is Nidanavan, Tattvamasi. If you look at this Mahavakya is given by a guru to his Sishya. Then Sishya realizes that and then he becomes Agam Brahmasmi. So Akka has treated all of us as Sishyas, used this particular one Mahavakya, Tattvamasi, repeatedly. It is not only in this particular article, there are about half a dozen articles she has talked about Tattvamasi, also in quite a few lyrics, including the lyric which we will be discussing now. So what your answer is that you are a person taught by Akka to understand the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. The Rajas in you looks at the negativity of the other person. If you realize that if the other person is removed of this particular negative trait, he is as good as you because you believe you are sattvic and he also becomes sattvic. It is like a person who is in +2 trying to laugh at a person in UKG. So that means there is an ego in our element to discriminate somebody as negative and discriminate somebody as positive. As long as we understand that there is a rational behind this irrational behavior, rational to him, not to you and me, then you will become very calm. You will be able to accept him as he is. You don't have to influence him. If he is not capable of being influenced, you cannot do that. Same thing Akka has referred in another article, Arivurai, in the same Nindru Nilai Peruga. It comes after one or two other topics. Then the whole thing is that you become an observer. You don't get entangled with your emotions that the other person is not good enough. That is the status of transformation. If you're able to differentiate the soul in him from the character he exhibits, you reach that stage, you reach the transformation. But do coil back and see this fellow is negative. Why do you want to coil back? I accepted him as he is. He has got a rational. My only thing is I can avoid being with him. I can avoid listening to him. Or I can listen to him, keep my ears shut. That won't influence me. That is what's called Vairagya. That is called determination. That follows if you do believe that everything is God. Universe is one. Hope I have made some clarity.
Yes, Mama. Thank you.
Is there anything you or we can go to the poem?
Uncle, one thought that came to me from my recent trip to India, reflecting on what was just being discussed, is the use of horn in driving in India. Right, there are different ways of expressing your emotions using your horn in the car, and many times when you get cut off, or when somebody is kind of driving improperly, we start kind of expressing our annoyance with words, curse words, whatever it may be, and then also honking at them. I think in an example like what we are talking about, or in the case of how do we kind of react in that situation, I always think that exactly what you're saying. I need to see that if I remove that quality of that person, is that person as a whole a bad person, and then kind of can I move on? But the simple thing is, even if I don't think about that person to that extent and say, can I see him without that quality? I can simply say I'm surely having that quality as well. That is why I'm honking. So if I can curb that quality in me, then that pointless honking and annoyance can just be avoided.
Yeah, see, it's basically training yourself to be indifferent to those things. You don't have to take a fight for everyone because it's not your job. It's exactly the same. You'll have anecdotes like a pig which splashes mud on elephant. Elephant doesn't bother about it. It keeps walking. It can choose to trample the pig, but it will get dirty further.
Right.
So even when animal which has got only five senses as compared to our six senses, it is able to be calm and it doesn't get unless it becomes wild. Unless it's a wild elephant, otherwise it passes away. It doesn't bother about it. It's a question of training. It takes a lot of energy to train ourselves. That's what Akka says that you can train yourself. Don't get back to where you are. Keep moving forward. Don't go back.
Thank you, Uncle.
Okay. I mean, can you read out the meaning of that particular
Yes, sir.
appearance? Yeah.
Approximate translation of Shri Akka's lyrics, Parka, appearance from Mutar Sir. What you see is just one, that you perceive as several. That space in between is in your mind. Transcend to see the infinite real. That appearance of gap is just an illusion that traps you in desire, bond, hatred, and passion. Let you get over this attachment, earth will appear as Brahman in that detachment. When mind and intellect act in one plane, Brahman shall be seen within. Born will be the wisdom that knower and known are one and the same. To the one basking in self realization, this universe is a form of one Brahman, that we shall not be lured by world's glam. That is the true knowledge and wisdom. This world is just a flowing dream. We are mere players in this stream. We are lulled in this slumber, the untruth. Let us welcome dawn to merge into the truth.
Thank you. This is very explicit. Uh, uh, in the earlier thing, he talked about
Recording in progress.
Hello? Some distraction. I mean, this lyric clearly answers the query raised by you regarding honking and how do we develop certain amount of patience. That appearance of gap is just an illusion that traps you in desire, bond, hatred, and passion. So, what we get trapped by unruly behavior of somebody is hatred. Can I just be observe and then don't develop any emotion and get away from him? Avoid. I think these are all very profound lyrics. Like this, to teach the truth that we are that Brahman, we don't realize it that we are trapped in this what we see in this world. What we cannot see is the problem. That we are unable to see some God in somebody is our problem, not God's problem. So there is one more lyric in a Nana and Akka has written. Same thing should come in a very, 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 very different way. In all these things, what she says is that you should be able to shed your identity, which is developed by you on your own, because of your measurement of your own, and comparing yourself with somebody else. So that becomes a colored glass in you. Through the color glass, you see somebody else. Everything looks tainted. If you remove the color glass, everything appears as real. So this is exactly where we should get an amount of maturity to be patient, to be forbearance if necessary, so that we don't get into trapped into hatred and likes and dislikes. Let us listen to this song and then move forward.
பார்க்கப்படுபவை ஒன்றே அவை பார்க்கப்படும் விதம் பற்பலவாம் நீக்கப்படும் இடை ஒன்றால் யா யாவும் நீள பெருவெளி நிற்பதுவே. பார்க்கப்படுபவை ஒன்றே, அவை பார்க்கப்படும் விதம் பற்பலவாம். நீக்கப்படும் இடை ஒன்றால் யாவும் நீள பெருவெளி நிற்பதுவே. அந்த இடைவெளி மாயம், அதில் ஆசை பாசம் வெறுப்பிருக்கும். பந்த முதிர்ந்திடும் ஆனால் இந்த பாரே பிரம்ம வடிவாகும். அந்த இடைவெளி மாயம், அதில் ஆசை பாசம் வெறுப்பிருக்கும். பந்த முதிர்ந்திடும் ஆனால் இந்த பாரே பிரம்ம வடிவாகும். இந்த பாரே பிரம்ம வடிவாகும். அறியும் திறனும் மனமுன்ற நம் அகத்தின் தரிசனம் தான் பிரம்மம். அறியப்படுவோன் அறிவோனை நன்கு அறிந்தேன் ஒன்றும் நிலை ஞானம். அறியும் திறனும் மனமுன்ற நம் அகத்தின் தரிசனம் தான் பிரம்மம். அறியப்படுவோன் அறிவோனை நன்கு அறிந்தேன் ஒன்றும் நிலை ஞானம். தன்னை உணர்ந்த மனிதனுக்கிந்த தரணி பிரம்ம வடிவாகும். மின்னும் உலகில் மயங்காமல் நாம் மீளும் பிறப்பொன்றே ஞானம். தன்னை உணர்ந்த மனிதனுக்கிந்த தரணி பிரம்ம வடிவாகும். மின்னும் உலகில் மயங்காமல் நாம் மீளும் பிறப்பொன்றே ஞானம். கனவை உலகாக காண்கின்றோம், கனவின் நிகழ்ச்சி நடப்பதனால் நனவின் விடியலில் தான் உண்மை நம்மால் உணர கூடுவதே. கனவை உலகாக காண்கின்றோம், கனவின் நிகழ்ச்சி நடப்பதனால் நனவின் விடியலில் தான் உண்மை நம்மால் உணர கூடுவதே. உண்மை நம்மால் உணர கூடுவதே. உண்மை நம்மால் உணர கூடுவதே.
Anything you want to discuss on this song, or shall we move to Aksharamala? Akka, you were there?
Yes, Uncle. Jai Nandalala.
You can recite both the songs and read their meaning. Then I will cover how they are relevant to this current topic and Navaratri. Okay.
So I'll read the third verse, its meaning, and then the fourth verse. Yeah?
Correct.
Okay. इच्छा ज्ञान समस्त शक्ति सहिते इंदीवर श्यामळे इंद्रोपेन्द्र वर प्रदे भवनाधीशे इनाराधिते एज्ये इंदु निभानने इभनुते एष्टार्थ सिद्धि प्रदे इंद्राणी नमिते इभाननसुते वंदे Akhilandeshwari. My salutations to you, Shri Akhilandeshwari, the one who is the embodiment of Ichcha, Jnana and Kriya Shaktis, the energies of desire, knowledge and action. The one who has a dark complexion like the blue-black lotus. The one who conferred boons to the celestial Indra and Upendra. The one who resides in Tiranaika, worshipped by Lord Surya. The one to whom all sacrifices and penances are offered. the one whose face is like a beautiful full moon, the one worshipped by elephant, the one who grants all our wishes, the one worshipped by Indrani, consort of Lord Indra, the one who is the mother of the elephant-faced Lord Ganesha. The fourth verse. ईशे ईश विरिञ्चि शौरि वरदे ईड्यालि ईशात्मिके ईर्ष्यादूषितचित्तदूरचरणे ईश प्रिये ईश्वरी ईड्ये ईश्वर वामभागनिलये ईङ्कारक्लिप्तोदये ईशत्वादिमहाविभूतिनिलये वन्दे Akhilandeshwari. My salutations to you, Sri Akhilandeshwari, the Ishwari who grants boons to the trinity of Shiva, Brahma and Vishnu, the one who is worshipped by Avarana Devis, the one who is the consort of Lord Shiva, the one who is dear to Lord Shiva, occupying the left half of him, the one who deserves to be worshipped, the one whose lotus feet cannot be reached by the jealous, the one who appears in the Pranava Eam, the one who resides in all mystic powers, Ashtama Siddhis. Sri Akhilandeshwari is surrounded by several forts, and each fort is guarded by a celestial goddess. It has a deep spiritual meaning. There are several screens within us, and only with her grace these can be removed to have the sight of her.
Thank you for the nice rendering. If you look at the third lyric, it talks about Icha Sakti, Jnana Sakti, Kriya Sakti, Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati. The whole Navaratri is celebrating these energies. Mahalakshmi, Mahakali, Maha Saraswati, all are form of Akhilandeshwari only. The second verse talks about how she is inseparable from the Lord Himself. If we consider one aspect of the divinity as body, mind, and intellect, another aspect is life. A combination of these Shiva Shakti. Though we have life, if we don't realize that we are part of the same Shiva, there is no life in us. That is the realization. And if you look at the Bija Eem, in Tamil it is written as E, which has got the form of Shivalinga, one dot inside the Shivalinga, one dot outside the Shivalinga. Sage Ramana Maharishi defines this beautifully. It separates itself from itself, only to return to itself, to be itself. So we are the dot inside that linga. We have separated ourselves because of our ego, jealousy, attachment outside that. Once that veil is removed, we get back to that. Now, if you look at Navaratri, what do? We worship Devi, we chant all these things. We try to get every creation in 9 steps at least. So, for want of space, we make it 3, 7, but normally 9 steps for Navaratris. We depict every possible thing that we see in this world, whether it is tangible or intangible, whether it is earth or mountain or water, whether it is an animal or whether it is a Vaishya, or whether it is somebody who is a warrior, everybody is displayed there. The whole concept is all these are form of one divinity. They appear several. That's what the whole talk of Velvi talks about. If you're able to see in every doll or idol that you place in the 9 steps, we treat all of them as God. There is a kalasa. That kalasa gives energy to every single idol or doll there. That's what Akka talks about, the energy that is provided by the God in various forms. That's why this lyric also says that she is the who gave the power to Indrani. She is the who gave the power to Indra. And Akka thought about Indra in that article Velvi. So looking at that, all these are, practices that teach us that the universe is one. In fact, even God's names come out of some of these logic. I try to get that now once again. Shiva has got the name Baba. He has got the name Rudra. But why are these names? What are these names coming out of? Lord Shiva is manifesting in this Prithvi. Prithvi is one of the elements we talk about. That is this world, this earth we are talking about. He is omnipresent there. Because of that, his name is Bhava. He is also manifest in water. That's why it's called Sarvaya. Sarvaya Namaha is Bhavaya Namaha, Sarvaya Namaha. When he is manifest in fire, is called Rudra. When he is manifest in the breeze, is called Bhima. When he is manifest in space, is called Mahadeva. When he is manifest in Suryan, is called Andaryami. When he is manifest in moon, is called Soma. When he is manifest in Anma, he is called Pasupati. So this is what Akka has captured in that particular article Velvi. And this is what is also captured in various verses of Aksharamala. It talks about all these things in one way or the other, and then say everything is one. Everything is contained in Akhilandeshwari. The letters came from her. Aksharas came from her. Words came from her. These words may be in several languages, but the origin is one. So there is no point in discriminating or between, you speak English, you speak Tamil, you speak Telugu. No, all have came from 3M Akhilandeshwari. She created the sound waves. Sound waves has created the Akshara. Akshara was created in form by Saraswati. So this is the entire capturing of the article of Sri Akka. In that one article which I read about in Avandani, Akka talks about how these 5 elements merge into one. I'll try to recapture that. I'll read in Tamil, then give it translation, then we can conclude the system. ஒரு காரணத்திலிருந்து தோன்றிய எதுவும் உரிய காலத்தில் அந்த காரணத்தினாலே ஒடுங்கும். ஒரு காரணத்தில் இருந்து தோன்றிய எதுவும் உரிய காலத்தில் அந்த காரணத்திலேயே ஒடுங்கும். மண் நீரில் ஒடுங்குகிறது, நீர் நெருப்பில் ஒடுங்குகிறது, நெருப்பு காற்றில் ஒடுங்குகிறது, காற்று ஆகாயத்தில் ஒடுங்குகிறது, ஆகாயம் மெய்ப்பொருளில் ஒடுங்குகிறது. எங்கும் நிறைந்துள்ள ஆகாயத்துடன் தான் நம்மை ஒப்பிட்டுக் கொள்ள வேண்டும். ஆகாயமும் மெய்ப்பொருளில் இருந்து தோன்றியதுதான். அதற்கு தோற்றமும் அழிவும் உண்டு. மெய்ப்பொருளோ எதையும் சார்ந்திருக்காத சத்தியத்தின் தத்துவம். Once again, Tattvamasi, Akka talked about that particular thing in Velvi also. Something is born out of a particular root or cause. It merges into that root. Earth is an element. It gets dissolved in water. Water is an element. which gets evaporated in fire. Agni is an element which gets dissipated in wind, the breeze, Vayu. Vayu gets lost in the space. The space gets itself merged into the truth. What we can do, since we are not able to find the truth, which has no form, let us compare ourselves with the sky, the element of sky. That is ultimate, that is Chidambara Ragasyam. Once you melt yourself into the element sky, that means you are getting out of everything tangible which you can see and feel. Earth you can see, water you can see, fire you can see, breeze you can feel, but space you can never feel. So when all your feelings go away, you become as pure as sky. Nothing is there. The sky is also created by God, which is the truth. Once you reach the state of sky, in no time you will become merged into the oneness that is truth. Because you came from that truth, you have to get into that truth. There is no separate existence for you. This is the entire thing that we learn from this chapter, read with the Mahavakyas. So nothing else to discuss, we can go into Vinayati Padikam and conclude the satsang. Anything you want to share, you can share. Otherwise, you can get Vinayati Padikam. You can play Vinayati Padikam and conclude. Yeah.
அலையின் ஒலியா மதியொளி உண்மையின் வெளிச்சம் மதியொளி அலையின் ஒலியா மதியொளி உண்மையின் வெளிச்சம் மதியொளி மயக்கத்தை மாய்க்கும் மதி பயக்கம் பெற்றதோ அருவம் மானதோ எவரோ எதுவோ எவ்வினமோ எவரோ எதுவோ எவ்வினமோ பாதக மரவே நீக்கி குறைவற்ற சாதகமே பயக்கும் பாதக மரவே நீக்கி குறைவற்ற சாதகமே பயக்கும் ஐம்பொறியும் ஐம்புலனும் முழுமையும் முழு மனதும் முழு சித்தமும் முழு பிறவியும் தடையற்ற ஆரோக்கியமும் குறையற்ற வாழ்வும் பற்றின்றி பெற்றிருக்கும் மதியொளியை பற்றுவதா குறையற்ற வாழ்வும் பற்றின்றி பெற்றிருக்கும் மதியொளியை பற்றுவதால் மூவுலகும் முச்சக்தியும் முழுதும் தன்னில் அடக்கிய மதியொளி அருட்பதிகம் மூவுலகும் முச்சக்தியும் முழுதும் தன்னில் அடக்கிய மதியொளி அருட்பதிகம் இதை முக்காலமுமே தியானிப்பவர்க்கு எக்காலமுமே பயமின்றி ஜெயமேயாம் பயமின்றி ஜெயமேயாம் முன்வினை பின்வினை யாவும் மறுபட்டு இம்மையில் இடையரா களிப்பும் நல்கி மறுமைகின்ற பிறவியின்றி மறுமைகின்ற பிறவியின்றி அவள் பாதம் உறுதி சித்திக்குமேயாம் அவள் பாதம் உறுதி சித்திக்குமேயாம் அவள் பாதம் உறுதி சித்திக்குமேயாம் ஓம் மதியொளியை வித்மஹே ஆத்மபலாயை தீமஹி தன்னோ லக்ஷ்மி பிரச்சோதயாத் ஓம் சரஸ்வத்யை ச வித்மஹே மதிஜ்வாலாயை தீமஹி தன்ன சிவா பிரச்சோதயாத்
Thank you. I want to share something with you. In this Vinaythir Padikam, there is one line called Otrumil Ongum Madholi, which exactly talks about the Mahavakyas. Akka is manifest only in unity, not in discrimination. In fact, one devotee asked, is there anything that Vinaythir Padikam can be compared with Mahavakyas? Akka said yes. And I remember at some time back, I developed an article taking Vinaythir Padikam and relating it with Mahavakyas. If I find time, I'll share it with you at some point in time. Thank you. Hopefully, I think we'll have one satsang on Vijayadashmi Day. Let me confirm and get back to you. Thank you very much.
Jai Nandalala.
Jai Nandalala.
Mathioli Charanam.
Mathioli Charanam.
Nandalala,
Thank you, Mama.
Charanam.
Mathioli Charanam.